you're having a drug and you want to put all your money into it because you like seeing your kid do good. So I mean, people sacrifice and parents sacrifice a lot to see their kid do well.
When people tell me it's a dangerous sport and you shouldn't be doing it, I just ignore it most of the time or come up with a silly answer because it's what I love doing, and if I love doing it, I must be able to do it.
The sacrifices become worth it once you stand on the top step, honestly.
My name is Toy. I race for Husqvarna, South Africa. I'm 17 years old and I race motocross. Yeah, riding for a team like Husqvarna is definitely exciting, a bit nervous, and yeah, it's mixed emotions of a lot of stuff. It's like a dream since I was a little kid to ride for a factory team, so it's definitely a dream come true.
We approach rider selection in a very specific way. It's really important for us to look at all different aspects of a rider, you know, their race mentality, their race craft, and you know, in this day and age where we've got social media, we look into that as well. It's really important to have a good social media following. You know, it's not the be all and end all, but if there's two riders that are on the same sort of level racing wise, you know, the person with the strong social media following is going to have the upper hand.
The dream of racing for a factory team started at a very young age, obviously, just watching all the pro riders do their thing, and I was just amazed. And one day I just said I want to be there with that factory team doing my thing.
I remember I started training and I was sitting there one day after a cycle or what, and my dad said no, Grant or Fred called me and said he wants to meet with us at this place, and he said you must come with, and then there I started realizing, oh, this might be a chance for my ride.
The dream of racing was from a fun aspect, and then once I started taking it a bit more serious in winning, I realized how much easier it is to have a factory team supporting you. It really makes everything a lot easier as a whole riding package.
So for round one motocross, we found ourselves at Pisa, a beautiful, beautiful track. There's lots of unknowns at the first round. Guys move up classes, change bike brands, change sponsors. So yeah, there's a lot more unknown at round one than the rest of the year. You kind of need to see where you are, see how your off season's gone, and if you've made the right decisions as far as what bike to race.
Lots of rainfall in the couple of weeks before the race created a soft and quite messy condition.
Awesome day, a few challenges here and there. Got a crash in the first heat and just managed to get up and get some points. Second heat was a bit better, got the whole shot, led a few laps, so cool day.
the mental strength of these athletes that compete in motocross are just, they are built tough, you know. They face a lot of different things out there with 40 riders along the start line in a row. Gates will drop and you all race to a turn where only one rider can fit round really at a time. So from 40 riders you filter into your lane and then the race is on.
We're not going to hide behind anything. Racing bikes it's one of the most dangerous things you can do. You know, I've lost friends to racing accidents. I've been injured myself. You know, it's very, very, very scarce that you find someone that rides a bike that hasn't broken bones or had ligament damage or had a concussion. But we all love it, man. We keep coming back to it, so there must be a reason for it.
I come from a small town called Brits. Yeah, we started riding when we were smaller on the farm and playing around there with the bikes. It kind of started as a family thing. We started doing it together as 3 boys, just having fun. On Saturdays, my dad always took us to the track. I think because having a sibling, me and my sibling were always, you know, playing with each other, bullying each other, making each other harder. So we always wanted to beat each other at something. So when the one beats this one or the one beats that one, it's always a competition. Who can be the best, you know? We made each other better. I came back from going overseas, doing really good as well. I went a weekend overseas, came back, and then I was really on a high because I got my first top 5. And my parents gave me the worst news of my life. I lost my older brother he crashed with a motorbike as well. And I can just remember, I couldn't believe it. And I don't even know how I did it, but I just put my head and I told myself, yeah, you still got a race, man. The Sunday that I came back from the race, we had to bury my brother. The next weekend was the national, and it was a really emotional time in my life. I mean, most emotional race I've ever done in my life. I didn't feel a lot of pressure, but I definitely wanted to win for my brother because he always liked that track and he was always doing good there. And yeah, just I rode, because I crashed, I rode my heart out to get to the front again, and then my back brace seized, and just laying in the hospital, I was thinking I'm over riding and I never want to do this again. And I was just crying the whole time and couldn't believe what happened to me. I lost my championship and I lost my favorite person in the world in a space from a month. So that was not really like it.
Barnes dealt with the most traumatic thing, you know, losing his brother. And I don't know how he pulled himself out of it really, but it shows in his passion. I almost lost my brother-in-law, and man, still the toughest thing for me to talk about even, you know, but I still ride, so there's a reason for it, and he still rides again, you know. He's the most amazing person ever to pull through what he went through, so although it's dangerous, it's worth it, that's for sure.
So first I decided not to race anymore, and then I started hanging out with kids close to my house, you know, friends that I used to have, and I was like, no, I'm just wasting my life. I can't live like this. And then I really missed racing as well. So I decided to get back into it, and I told myself at the last national, okay, I must try and get a win. Didn't really expect myself to win, but I really wanted it so bad, so I put in the effort. And so the first heat I didn't do really good, but the second one was much better, and then I went from third to first, and that was also really a turning point as well. Saying to myself, you know, I've had bad luck last year, but I can still do this and I can be the best.
So then we moved on to round 2 and 3. It was a double header, always a challenging weekend, you know, two back-to-back days of racing.
I was able to be competitive in the racing, so it wasn't that I was just riding by myself. I was able to just be in the mix, figure out my race craft, figure out other riders' weaknesses, my strengths. So it really was a cool race. The results didn't show, but I was able to fight.
The track in Cape Town lends itself really well to a double header, being a little bit of a softer soil. They were able to do full track prep between the days, and that's really important for us because, you know, the same amount of points are up for grabs on both days, so we have to have equal opportunities for the riders on the Saturday and the Sunday.
Today, much better day. Only had one little silly mistake, but much better day, and I'm happy with the results of 4-4 in heat 1 and 2. And yeah, I'm improving by the race, and that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, the track was really brutal on both days, so it was more about just getting the bike set up really good. I don't think it was a perfect setup, but it was something that you would be able to ride with.
After getting second that first day overall, I really was fired up to win.
Early in race 1, Barent unfortunately had a really crazy mechanical where one of the fuel lines just popped off, and obviously started fuel and the bike stopped. He was able to figure it out, put the pipe back on, and continue to score 1 point in that race, and followed it up really in good fashion by winning the last race of the weekend. So great performance by Barent all round.
I struggled to get my bike into second, so I started in first, and I knew I was going to get a bad start, so I focused on myself and I told myself, you're going to have to really push. And I came over with a one jump or just before it. I heard my bike bogging and I couldn't understand what's going on, and as the bike was bogging, I couldn't even jump the jump, and I pulled to the side, and I thought we forgot to put fuel in it because it sounded like it, and actually the fuel line came out and I didn't even know.
He was one of those riders that was able to switch it up and come out swinging in the second motor and really show his speed in the 125 class and take the win. So a really proud moment for me to see him get his first win for the year. round 4 we moved on to Pietermaritzburg, complete polar opposite to Cape Town, really hard packed soil. They do their best to work the soil, to rip it, to make it good in the morning, but by halfway through the first moto, second moto, the track is really brutal. Really technical track, difficult to go fast on. You can override the track completely and light up the rear wheel, and then you don't get forward momentum. For Barents, it was kind of like he came off the win in Cape Town and he wanted to keep to those winning ways. But it's Luke's home track, so very difficult to beat someone at their home track. Luke spends lots of time there. Bart gave it his all. He ran within the same second of Luke the entire day, but just wasn't able to make it happen.
One of the factors there is that the pre-nationals, where most of the riders are competing, Darren has responsibilities at the off-road racing series, so he's generally out racing them and not able to prepare as best as he could. On the other hand, we had Joshua Malimi having his own breakout ride for the season in MX1, getting a whole shot in the second moto, leading some good laps and really finding his tune out there.
What I figured out there was my first heats are my weaknesses. I usually start out quite slow and then build up from there. So I was trying to make a point to fix that. In the second heat I managed to finish second and then ended up second overall, so that was a good step in the right direction. It really gave me a good confidence boost, you know, because it had taken a few tries to try figure that out. And once I got that, I obviously knew, okay, I can be there.
So welcome return to the podium for Joshua Malimi.
So round 5 took us down to Richards Bay, Pisa motocross track. Man, what a facility. The best track that our country has, in my opinion. Went off the calendar for a few years, and they put their hand up this year and they said they want to host a national, and we were all super excited because we all raced there a few years ago and we know what that track's like. Unfortunately, at the pre-national, Barent had a crash and he injured his wrist, and yeah, that just solidified that his championship was over. So we were going to the race with only 2 riders.
As I went over the one jump, it was like a double triple. We were tripling the next one, and I got like a bit of wheel spin, and the front dropped a bit, and I just cased it with the front wheel, and just unlucky, my hand just broke.
I hadn't ridden the track before, so practice of 5 laps, it was pretty tricky to get used to the track, especially being such a tricky track. The first race didn't go really well. I was doing all right in the beginning, and then I had an unfortunate crash where I went over the handlebars and the whoops, and it cost me a lot. The second race as well, I was quite sore from the crash, but I ended up with an 8th place. I wasn't too happy with that, and I know I can do better.
Being a small team, sometimes we get fill-in riders, you know, it's good to have representation in all the classes. We had Michael Doherty come out, ex-South African that races, he raced Dakar, he lives in Dubai now and he does a lot of riding in Dubai. During their summer months, they can't really do much riding there. The heat and humidity just is too great for them, so he usually comes home. And I said to him, does he want to fill in? Does he want to do some racing while he was here? So he was more than happy to do that, and that was exciting for us for a brand point of view and a championship point of view, because he brings a whole different dynamic, different riding style. Some of our local riders get to pick up on his techniques, which are slightly different because he obviously races on an international scale. So that was really cool for us to have him there. What a great guy to watch racing. And his whole approach to the racing is different to what we used to. So really good for our riders to learn from him. It was exciting to have him there. Round 6 and 7, another double header.
No one really walks out of PE in great condition, so ideally your prep is important.
It's just brutal out there. So PE's just always been known to be the most difficult track on the calendar, and they made it a double header. So back into it, you know, again, you have to recoup on Saturday nights and try come out swinging Sunday again after a brutal day out there. Lots of sore hands, sore bodies, sore muscles, some injuries. Very difficult to do that.
We saw the team have up and down days. Unfortunately, Byron's still sitting out with his wrist injuries. Davin, on the other hand, proved to himself that a really good start can give him some good results. So we saw a podium out of Davin, and he's more than capable of it.
First race, I got P5, and I knew I could do better, just 1 or 2 little mistakes, where in the second race I eliminated those and I managed to get 3rd place, which was my first podium of the year.
It's really important to be able to recover on Saturday nights, you know, get nutrients into your body, which is extremely difficult after a hard taxing day on the body. For me, that was the most challenging round for the year.